Hey guys, did the awesome here to give you a Monster Legends information video on runes. This has been a requested video by you guys that you want me to make a runes video. So just kind of like explaining what the point of each rune is. To be perfectly honest, each rune does have a point in the game. Uh, for some runes, a lot of people just say, "Oh, that rune sucks. It's garbage. There's no point in using it." Uh, I mean, there is obviously a point in using it. They just mean it's not really the most optimal choice in terms of runes. A lot of people just think strength and speed are the only runes that are the only thing worth using in the game. Uh, I mean, like those are the like offensive. Offensiveness has always been like the most highly valued thing in the game. But there is a point in each rune, and you can do different kinds of builds if you so wished. This is for this is for beginners. This is just a beginner's guide, and obviously like that. So if you already know about runes, and you're just watching this video to watch it, okay then. Feel free to watch it. So yeah, speed. All right, so the speed rune. Speed dictates how fast your monster is. I should probably maybe this isn't the best screen for this. No, I would think this was the best screen, but yes. But anyway, speed increases a monster's. Speed runes increases a monster's speed. It dictates pretty much who goes first. Basically. And the more speed you have, the faster you are. And I will say, if you're double, if a monster is double a monster's speed, then there's a chance that the monster will get more turns. In all honesty, this is kind of the reasons why a lot of other runes are kind of overshadowed. I will say, this is probably one of the most important runes. A lot of people really, really do value speed runes. So much that some people just use speed runes because it's that ridiculous. Trust me. The speed system in this game is so broken. uh, but yeah, a lot of people tank up on speed runes, specifically level 9 speed runes. As you can see, a level 1 speed rune was like 4%. A level 9 speed rune is vastly different. Or like the level 9 rune. Level 9 rune is 34%. So imagine running two or three of these. At least two of these, you're running at 68%. I will say a level 9 rune is equivalent to two level 5 runes. That's like equipping two level 5 runes on. The level 5 rune, which is the common rune, it's the staple rune, just for competitive play. It's pretty much the free to play rune. This is the highest rune a free to player could get. Not including the fraternity events. You do get runes from the fraternity events to really compete with people that don't play for free, that just buy their runes and stuff like that, with gems. Uh, but yeah, this is the common rune. Usually, most of the time, a rune is double, or it's like the equivalent of two level 5 runes. In this case, it seems that it's like the speed rune for like a level 5 speed rune is 20%. Level 9 speed rune is 35%. So you get a different scaling. I think it's like a 25, yeah, 25 difference in terms of, because two 35s is 7. I think it's like, yeah, 70 speed, and with two level 5 runes, you're living at 40% speed. So there's a 30% difference there for in terms of speed. And I guess it's more so equivalent in the sense of level 9. Like a level 9 strength rune. A level 9 strength rune, as you can see, is 96%, while a level 5 is 48%. So that pretty much equivalates to two level 5 strength runes. Like if you put like one level 9 strength rune on, you have two you have two strength runes on, basically. Uh, so yeah, speed. In all honesty, speed is a powerful trait in the game. I never liked. I kind of hate like this thing that where speed kind of dictates the game, because it usually does. I hate the turns. I hate how turns like you can get like like if a monster is really, really fast, it's stupid how much turns they get. At some point, like they get so many turns, it becomes ridiculous. But that's just how the game. I mean, the rules of the game were made. I don't know if they took into the fact like when they actually started to make level 10 runes or level 9 runes, how stupid the speed goes. Uh, but I guess I don't know. Uh, that's why usually people will usually put one at least one speed rune on any like any given set. You will see someone put at least one speed rune. That's kind of why that's a thing. That's kind of why you when you in the team wars or if you go to team wars or just in PvP, you will see people usually have at least one speed rune on. That's just because of that thing in the game where you can get more turns in the if you're usually double a monster's speed, but if you're really fast, I think you just get turns in. It's stupid. But that's kind of how the game works. So speed is the most valued stat in the competitive scene community. Strength determines how hard your monster hits. It's a red rune. I could show you stats real quick, which each rune kind of dictates here. We'll just do Abu here. Abu. The red rune that we were just on, dictates this stat. It increases this stat by how much damage you will do with your damaging moves. The red runes are usually for the attacker. They're the most important rune for attacking monsters. So that includes Barbatos, Osteoclast, just again any other really attacking monster is meant for them. It's meant for really it's usually meant just for the really heavy hitters, but you can use it for extra guy builds. We'll get to the extra guy build later. You can use it for that too. It's good for like the extra guy build's good for a well-rounded monsters usually like General Uria, Metalhead, those kind of monsters, just with well-rounded stats that just get enhanced. Their well-rounded stats get increased with the extra guy build, or at least they take most advantage of it. This is the speed stat I was talking about. For every yellow speed rune you put on it, this goes up. And green runes are life runes. I just wanted to share that right away. So going back to this thing. So yeah, strength. Strength determines how hard something hits with your, just your moves, your monster's moves. It's totally based on how hard it hits and how much power you have when you use it. I will say when you're running 2 level 9 strength runes, at some point, if you do run, in all honesty, if you do run 2 level 9 strength runes, you do so much damage that your basic attacks, since people usually play brittle in this game, your natural attacks will just straight up kill something. In terms of just power scaling, that's not the case for every single monster in the game, but for some it's really is. The higher the natural of damage the move is, the more than likely you're going to tip something over. Just like that, you don't need to set up double damage or anything. So the higher the strength rune is, the better your natural damage output is. As simple as it's a pretty simple one to understand. Life rune. Life runes increases the amount of life your monsters have. So the more life your monster has, the less damage. I think it's like the less you take less. It's either like I always wonder this. Like if you ever had like if you put like life runes on your monsters, do you take less damage then? But I don't think that I don't know if the damage amount ever really changes. But you just have a whole lot of life. Of course, depending on the scaling of your life rune. This is a lot of people really underestimate life runes a lot of the time, just because at some point people like don't invest in level 9 life runes. They just kind of invest. In all honesty, when people get runes, they just invest in power and strength runes, like level 9 strength or level 9 speed runes. Most of the time, speed runes, because again, the speed is honestly the strongest stat in the game. It's really hard to compete when the monsters get a bunch of turns in. They're just kind of overrunning the over monsters. Denying is a strong thing in this game, and when you can chain deny, you don't really need to worry about anything at that point. If you could just keep the monster under control and you still got more turns, it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, life runes are. I will say life runes are pretty strong on extra guy builds. I have to go back. I have to talk about that soon. But anyway, the point is of life runes, you get more life, so you can take more hits. I will say this helps for a lot of monsters that need to be out there for a while. So they can stomach if they can honestly, if you have a life rune on, you can stomach more natural hits from things that aren't running a life rune, or not a life rune, a strength rune. So you take less damage from them essentially, and you will possibly live through the attacker. Possibly, it's not a guaranteed thing, but you will possibly live through an attacker's attack if they don't really set up, if they don't take the time to set up. That is. Uh, you really just start seeing sweeping when people start having higher runes than 5, or like, as you know, because the power level spike is different. A level 5 rune is greatly different than being attacked by someone with level 7 strength runes on. The damage output is just different. That's just how the scaling goes. So life runes are just, again, to keep you like the monster alive kind of a little bit longer, depending on just how heavy of damage you're taking. This is great for stalling monsters like Oros, Gorin, just things that are naturally tanky. This also life runes also scale with shields. Like you'll see monsters in the game with shields, life regen, like basically any healing moves. All those kind of things, all those kind of support things that relate to life, relate to this rune. So if the higher your life, the more that goes up. I mean, the more you heal off it. So I will say life runes are pretty great when you're running a team with life regen. If you have like a monster running life regen and everyone has a life rune, their scale, their natural healing goes up. And if you have a monster that can deny the enemy, you just replenish your hit points back at some point. It's pretty strong. Uh, the only problem is not many people run anything beyond a level 5 life rune. I think that's why life runes get kind of a bad rep. Uh, and it's kind of hard to build a life rune in later, kind of, maybe. I don't. In all honesty, the only time you can put a life rune on, when you're in the like later end of the board, when people are running like 2 level 9 strengths, or just like learning full speed, it's kind of hard. I think the extra guy build is the only time you can run at that point, or like you can stomach. You're able to do stuff, and while also yeah. So life runes at some point it's hard to use a level 5 rune when you're competing against things that have higher level in it. But if everyone's in all honesty, if the enemy is running level 5 runes too, level 5 life rune will do you good. It has trouble scaling with the other stuff at some point if you don't like update that. If you don't update your monsters runes with level 9 runes. Level 9 runes I will say help a lot. A level 9 rune is vastly different than a level 5 rune. But that's just that. You could say that's kind of the life in terms of life runes. A lot of people deem life runes a little underwhelming, because sweeping, like again, the sweeping meta is a thing. Like people value sweeping a lot. Uh, I find them they have their, in all honesty, life runes do have their place in time. A lot of people get terrified. In all honesty, people like don't think tanking is a thing, but tanking is a thing in this game. There are monsters that scale really well with life runes, and when tanking is actually present in the game, people get tilted. People will actually tilt because they don't think tanking is a thing, and when tanking comes up, it's like, oh, that's bullshit. But yeah, tanking can be a thing in this game. You just gotta find the right monsters and rank them up. Rank them up, and then they're just a pain. People won't, in all honesty, people won't, in terms of like an uncommon or common war, people will not really attack you that much if one of your monsters is packing a life rune and they can't sweep it on the first turn. That's genuinely how that goes. Do keep that in mind. So putting a monster with a lot of life on defense could help you. I mean, it could help you. Not just slam. Don't ever slam more than 2 life runes on a monster. But you get my point. Do like in all honesty, the extra guy build set is a great defensive set. An extra guy build, in all honesty, is just putting your monster on your monster a strength rune, a life rune, and a speed rune. That's it. That's an extra guy. That's the extra guy build. Just increases all the stats all around for that monster. Gold runes. Gold runes increase the value of gold that it produces for like either you have like team gold or just gold. Gold runes specifically just increase the single value. They just increase that specific monster's gold value. It goes up. So if a monster is running at 15 gold per minute, it scales up. it go. I mean, like the money it produces goes up, which each life rune you put. I mean, I life rune, gold rune you put on it. That one's pretty self-explanatory. You can't really. This isn't really a competitive rune. In all honesty, this is just meant to increase your gold value. To get more gold, so you can purchase more food items. I mean, you get increased gold item. Gold is pretty important in this game. It helps you get food. It helps you get your food, and it also at later points in the game you can buy rare cells at the sell sale. In all honesty, and those are really important like times to get your monsters ranked up or get specific rares you missed during an event. So getting gold uh, runes can help you get more gold. Specifically, team gold runes help a lot early game. I highly recommend investing in team gold. Don't buy them. Just you can earn them from like the rune dungeons. You don't necessarily need to buy gold runes. Don't spend gold on gold runes. uh, wait for them to be like yeah. Just wait for the dungeons. Stamina runes. Okay, this is a pretty I'll say this rune is the least used in terms of the usage of runes. This has very few applications. This is a stamina rune. It increases a monster's stamina. It's what dictates your ability to how many moves you can use before you just have to recharge again. It's like if you ever play Pokemon, it's PP or something. It's except you can recharge it. Just yeah, at some point you stop moving and you have to take the time to recharge. Stamina runes are kind of unnecessary, just because fights usually don't take that long unless you run into a tank fight. And if you do see someone running a stamina rune, it's because it's on a monster that has very low cooldowns, and they have usually especially if they have a really high end stamina rune on it, it's a monster that can really fight. It has long term presence. You will see stamina runes on a very specific monster named Voltic, and I highly recommend not messing around with Voltic, like ever. Like seriously, if you're like just starting out, like if you see a Voltic in PvP as like a yellow monster superhero, don't mess with him yet. uh, because Voltic has four extra turn moves, and it just gets ridiculous, dude. uh, but yeah, this just increases the ability for a monster to move around in fights, or just being able to move every turn. This because you have a lot more stamina does not keep you safe from deny. Deny is still an issue, but if you do see someone putting a stamina rune on a monster, it just means they want the monster to be able to move more. It could be used for monsters that have really high end stamina costs. That's probably another reason why they put it on there. But in all honesty, I wouldn't really use this all too much. Uh, in fact, I don't even ever use stamina runes in all honesty, because I don't have a monster takes that can take their time out there forever. I'd rather have I'd rather have increased life than I would with increased stamina. Uh, that's just my personal preference. But yeah, this is like specific monsters, like again for Voltic. You will see this on random monsters at times, but yeah, it just means they can fight for long term without having to recharge again. Team Gold runes. Okay, so this is actually the rune you put on your monsters. It just increases everybody's gold count by 2%. You can essentially put this, if the more, once you've accumulated a bunch of gold runes, a team gold runes, you can just put that on a bunch of pandakins for each rune slot, and it's just really easy to make. It increases your money income, so you can produce more crops for your monsters, so you can feed them, level them up, and all that shindig. It goes up to once you reach level 50. That's the maximum gold you can get naturally for that specific monster. Anyway, I mean, each monster has their own specific GPM, which is gold per minute. So you might want to look into this for just everyone, every monster on your team. Team strength runes. Okay, so this is we're getting to more so team. In all honesty, team runes are just for like support monsters and or like uncommon commons and rares that aren't ranked up. In all perfect honesty, so team strengths. Increases everyone's damage by specified percent. For this is 4%. This is really just meant for the attack. In all honesty, it's just meant for the attacker. Let's say you wanted to put more natural damage on your attacker. You just shove this on supporting monsters. So personally, in all honesty, in terms of like team runes, I would put team runes on things that don't tip over. Because you'll see a lot of people put team runes on just things that are so brutal, there's no point in it. So if you want to take advantage of like this is just for team strength and or team life. If you're running team strength or team life, make sure it's on a monster that does not tip over. Specific monsters would be Gullen. Uh, oh, I don't know. Invarv. Invarv does not tip over easy. Uh, I can't think of, in all honesty, I can't think of any right now. But, it's basically anything that's just tanky. Oros, for example, is not the most easiest monster to knock out unless you do, like, a Barbatos thing. You'd probably just won maybe one, team rune, and a life rune and a speed rune. But then, that's about it. Just things that don't tip over. You want the monster to stay out there, in all honesty, when you're using team runes. Again, can't stress that enough. This again, it's just kind of meant to increase everyone's natural damage. It's no different than using again strength runes. Team speed. Team speed increases everybody's speed. You use this mainly. This is actually the most popular. You know, this is the second, I'd say probably second popular in people's choices in terms of the level of runes and importance, or maybe the third one. It's either third or second. But this basically increases your denier speed. The denier plays such an important role in combat because it keeps everyone else from killing you and them from doing anything. So team speed, you do use this. It's just solely meant for your denier. Not much else at that point. Team life runes. Team life runes increase everybody's life by a specified amount. This one specifically does it by 4%. Put this on things again. I can't stress this one enough. Whenever you're using team strength or team life, put it on a monster that does not tip over, because once the monster that's holding these team runes die, the stats go. I mean, like the team stats go away. So it doesn't do you any good. These team strength and team life aren't really used all that much because usually when you put team runes on a monster, it's usually brittle, or at least that's what people usually do. It's just is. You only ever, honestly, you only ever use team strength runes when you have like a sweeping team on you, and it just increases your odds of just killing everything that first turn. So let's say you had like a demise. Demise has like a move that can prioritize and give double damage, and he had something like Super Dan, which has an AoE that has 45 damage. If you had really decent runes and you're just missing out on a few percent in terms of strength, you're just missing out by a bit. If you had like team strength runes, which you now currently do, you can now just win at that point. That's what you should really plan on using team strength runes for. If you can set up a fast win, that's basically what all that does. And yeah, if you're running team life runes, just don't put it on anything brittle, just straight up. Put it in all honesty, you can put team lives on ranked up rares, uh, epics, epics that don't tip over. Yeah, like, again, you want to put team runes on things that don't tip over. uh, and really, that's about it. And that's actually, it's looking like all the runes. Apparently, team stamina runes cost something. Okay, maybe it's because I passed it. But yeah, team stamina runes again, self-explanatory, increases everybody's stamina. This is kind of helpful if if your monster, let's say you're using Voltic, you have Voltic on your team, and for some reason you just need more stamina. This is right why you run team stamina. This helps. I will say this helps in the sense of just everyone getting to move longer. You basically use a ruin slot just so like everybody has a little bit more stamina to use a move. In all honesty, it has to be a specific percent though. Team like 40% is not enough. You need that's 19%. You at least need something that gives like a level 5 team though it looks like a level 5 stamina rune just to get like use a move that's like 27 stamina at least. But yeah, it's not really worth using in all perfect honesty. So that is all the runes. That's all their functions in Monster Legends. If you have any comments, please list them below. I hope this video was informational and it was great. uh, yeah, I am Dib the Awesome. I'll catch you guys later.